Welcome back, everyone, to the Complete Pineleaf. We are here at Monksy's camp on a rainy day with lightning flashing down in the distance, where we're trying to find out what happened to our friends.
A party of Uruks fled from the east wall of the Norcrofts on foot.
I don't know anything about that Dunlending girl, but Horn is one of my people and I trust him. I will tell you what I told him. A party of Uruks has fled from the east wall on foot into the Norcrofts. If you go to the ridge west of here, you might be able to take a look over the plains and see where they went. All right. Well, seeing that those Uruks apparently attacked the hobbits or something like that were in the party, I guess we want to know what's going on with them. We'll probably have to kill an orc or two in order to get to the place, but that's all typical in there. We better take care of this one also. I don't want to be shot in the back while I'm trying to find out what's going on. They're probably here to keep us from seeing what happened, where the Uruks went. There you go. Stand on this ridge that forms the border with the Norcrofts. Okay, let's have a look. Peer over the plains and you see a far off cloud of dust. And that's supposed to be the cloud of dust from the Uruks? Well, I suppose it's a possibility. Let's see what Corridon has to say. He probably has the best sight of the people here. Ah, well, what do you say, Corridon?
The last time I traveled south, orcs were gathering on the river bank.
A group of Uruks passed this way. The signs are clear about that much, at least. They trampled grass underfoot and kicked aside stones with little care for where they placed their booted feet. They were in a hurry, and they held captives. Two halflings whose identities I think we both know, Pineleaf. The Uruks are right to worry, for their run took them into Rohan, and they are several days ahead of us, and I feel mere hours ahead of their pursuers, for they were pursued by three of our mutual friends, I think. But why? Did the Uruks think they had captured something more than captives? We must follow them. If we can lend our aid to the captives or the pursuers, we must do so. But we need war steeds if we're to have any hope of catching them on the great plains of Rohan. We'll need war steeds. Hmm. Well, what do you say about that, Horn?
It is strange to look out over the plains of my home, and no, I am not welcome there.
It is your duty to follow this rumor of your friends, and it is my desire to help you in it. So I will follow you if you must pass into Rohan. Corridon tells me that the Uruks are likely pursued by an elf, a dwarf, and a man, and though the tracks are faint and hard to read, I trust his instincts and his tracking skill. They would need to be incomparable hunters themselves to catch the Uruks if they did not depart immediately, and it seems that they did not. And we're leaving well after both groups, so heed this warning. We will have no hope of catching them with the Uruks that fled the east wall without war steeds of our own. We should speak with Monsig about acquiring such steeds. Yeah, that they're just gonna lend the four of us war steeds. Yep, yippity doo. Okay, this entire thing is for a storyline to get war steeds.
Horn is an unusual man. I will keep an eye on him for you.
Look at the rolling fields and plains of the horse lords. They were meant for my people, but they were taken from us. Horn and I hunted for signs of your friends while you were in Parthgal and Pineleaf. He is not like the rest of the horse lords. If he wishes to go into Rohan, a land from which he was exiled, I will do so without complaint. See how much the risks for the cause of strangers? He is most unusual. I'll keep an eye out on him. Yes, alright, you'll keep an eye on him then. Very well. Alright, Monsig, let's speak with him. Hello there, Monsig. I need to pursue some Uruks that left a few days ago, and it's an urgent matter. Any idea how we can help?
You have urgent business within Rohan?
It is not for me to ask questions. Know that my people are suspicious of outsiders, and you travel with not one, but two, and you're one yourself. Well, there is a little detail on that matter. Let's say we take that one.
Some of my men are returning to the Wold. You are welcome to go with them.
The four of you will need war steeds if you're to have any hope of making good time on the plains of Rohan. Some of my men are returning to the Wold. You're welcome to go with them if you like. Help my people in Langhold and Harwick, and you will have the war steeds you need. And I don't know how much time that's going to take, right?
If we are to cross the plains of Rohan with any speed, we will need war steeds of our own.
And here we are at Langhold. And here we have Ondoth. Let's see if he lets us inside.
You have need of war steeds. Perhaps I can help you.
Yes, welcome to the Wold, Pineleaf. Though how can you might help?
You will need war steeds for yourself and your companions.
We face difficult times, not just in Langhold, but throughout the Wold as well. Theoden King has left those of us in the Wold without much support. I don't blame him. Rumors tells of a great armies marshalling in the west, and we are spread too thin over too wide an area. If you desire to travel across the kingdom of Rohan, you need war steeds for yourself and your companions. There are two things you will need to accomplish in order to attain the privilege of such steeds. First, help in the support of Langhold. Once the city has been made safe, travel south along the road to Harwick, and you'll be instructed in the skills necessary to safely and swiftly ride a war steed. I'm not too sure about the word safely, but that's an entirely different matter. Hello there. Rohan awaits.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
You have come to the gate of Langhold, traveler. State your business, please. What brings you to our door? I need war steeds. Yeah, I know, that's probably not going to satisfy Dollar, right?
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
We've had word from our kindred in the Great River of a heroic traveler who passed through Stangard. I can see that you're the same hobbit to whom such praise has been given, especially considering that he probably hasn't seen too many hobbits in his day. The Thane of Langhold would receive you from the mead hall without delay. This part of the world welcomes guests with open arms, but enemies of the mark beware. It is my duty to warn you thus. All right. I have been dutifully warned. And of course, we got D's in Langhold. A quest in Langhold. Yeah. I don't see the counter. It says complete all of the quests in Langhold. Not just a specific number, but complete all of them. And let's see. Milestone. Where's there a milestone here? That's a well. Sometimes in Rohan, it's hard to tell the difference between the wells and the milestones, so it confuses me on occasion. Ah, it's the other entrance that has the milestone. Ah, see what I mean here? Look at that. Oh, I don't need Monseek's encampment anymore. There you go. Now, into the mead hall. And here we have the Thane of Langhold, Uhtred. And he is actually the first Thane that we meet in Rohan, because you don't really have a Thane in Stangard, since that's a bit of a exile camp in any case. So this is our first town that we've gone in that has a full Thane in it.
Welcome and well met, my friend.
Ah, the famous Wandering Warden. Your reputation precedes you, Pineleaf. I bid you welcome to Langhold. I am sure you'll find plenty to keep you busy here, for we are often beset by ruffians and wild creatures. Ooh.
Welcome. Stay a moment and speak with me.
My wife, Chillin, has a better temperament for welcoming guests of Langhold than I. I would sooner bid you to go find your own food, but my dear wife upholds the customs of Rohan. She has grace, despite agreeing to tolerate my bad behavior for so many long years. Chillin will give you welcome you deserve and an honored guest of our city, Pineleaf. Alright, so we'll speak with Chillin. Now, that's a rather interesting name, I would think, because of all the nobles that I meet in the world, she probably has the least cold personality. So, what is she doing with a name like Chilin?
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
Ah, well, the voice actress, though, that sounded a little bit. I'm sorry, but the sound clip from the voice actress sounds like that she quite deserves the name, but that's another matter. Ah, the traveler from Stangard. You must be weary from your long road. Do not mind my husband. He's an unceremonious man, but he is a good thing and still strong. Come, let us drink together and share our meal. This custom is a pledge of honor from us to you that you'll be safe from all harm in Langhold. It is a pledge on your part, while here you must respect our ways and cause no harm and stir no trouble. Will you perform this gesture of goodwill? All right, I suppose so. We have please accept the hospitality of the mark. There we have a little bit of meat. Go, 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 go. And a bit of food. And okay, and of course, we would need the bow. I bid you welcome, friend of Langhold. There you go.
Your aid is welcome, friend.
You have my wife's approval, eh? Oh, do you? Good, good. She's a gentle soul, and she loves the old customs. I suppose there is no harm in them, especially if they make our guests behave themselves while they stay here. Now, you're free to roam about and do as you please. Do not let me keep you. That sounds like the Thane. I think he's one who's. I don't know what the masculine form of chillin' is. It looks like Heagbald wants us to do something.
Will you aid the horse lords?
Ah, the traveler from the western lands. Welcome. I'm a city's guardsman, but I'm a little busy at the moment. Oh, well, I'm sure that if you're a little bit busy. Ooh, all this stuff. As on top of the food that I already have. Nothing like having plenty of food. Salamanders.
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
That's right, salamanders. The salamanders are breeding more and more of late, and their eggs are hatching in greater numbers. More salamanders beget yet more salamanders. If you get a chance, burn their vile nests. But be careful, they guard their eggs viciously. Yeah, I've fought those nasty things before, I can imagine.
Our success depends upon our strength.
Will
Will you aid
you
us?
Will you look at this mess? A salamander here, right here at the gate. These vile serpents grow bolder and bolder of late. Soon they'll be crawling into the homes at night and biting us in our sleep. There is a nest not far south of Langhold. I suspect you'll find it teeming with these pests. If you go thin their numbers, there will be a good reward for you. You carry quite a reputation for being a skilled warrior, Piney. Alright, fine. I will go and kill some salamanders, right? Oh, let me remove that, since that's not going to mean anything until I finish all the quests here anyway. We also apparently have a few ruffians in this area. And we have to take care of them too, though most of the ruffians will be dealt with later. So right now, wonderful Brigand Slayer. Right now, our main concern are going to be those infamous salamanders that we need to deal with. Now, is there any place other than the Wold where you run into these? Oh, salamanders. All right, now we've got what we're looking for. Any place other than the Wold where you run into things like salamander, and that's not those brigands, because that could make a difference on how thoroughly I pursue them in the next couple of episodes. I think most of them are out around here. And of course in the other camp in there. Let's see, there is... Yeah, I can't think of anywhere else. Oh, actually, there are a few of them in the... In Washvale, that's right. In Washvale you have a few... There might be a bit in Sucross, but not many. I think mostly it's other types of dangers that you have out there. I think it's mostly orcs and nasty things like that. Aha! I finally found the first salamander nest. I wonder if it's built near the water to keep people from coming around trying to burn them. Especially when you consider that these salamanders, even though the quest is called Salamanders Hate Fire, it has this habit of breathing fire. So you would think that that's a rather strange title for a quest when you consider. Oh, have these breathed fire yet? Oh boy, I can't remember if one of the early ones I've killed did that. Well, I would think that they built this in the water to prevent people from coming up and burning their nests down, especially if they really do beat fire. Oh yes, upon wandering you run into Venom Tongue. Kill Venom Tongue. Alright, fine. I think that was one of the first pop-up quests that we had, because it was a bit of a... The first one we ran into when we were testing out Rohan when they were during the beta phase, where essentially the whole thing was to overload the server, see how many people come out here into the salamander pit all at the same time. So we just had huge crowds here coming after these salamanders, and of course Venom, and going after Venom Tongue and all that stuff. And one of the things they were testing, of course, were how well pop-up quests worked. I think there might have also been the first test of open world tapping, because originally the first person to hit a target got credit for the kill, regardless of how much damage they did to everyone else. And of course, when the server population started to get to a certain level, that became unbearable. So when Rohan came out, they instituted open tapping so that everybody got credit for the kill. In fact, I think there was even a penalty to the... On top of that, there's a penalty on how much experience you got on solo versus being in a fellowship and all that stuff. So there are all sorts of weird things that they had to settle out when Rohan came out. And for briefly their time, I think they still had the fellowship penalty, but they had the open tapping, so it was better that if you were grouping going against a lot of monsters to break up the fellowship and just all be in the same area and tap it. Fortunately, they eventually made things a little bit easier. Venom Tongue go? Oh, Venom! Oh, there's Venom Tongue right there. And we're also almost finished with our nests. I noticed there was one there near Venom Tongue. You know, maybe I should try eating some of this food here. It's not like I'm particularly low on it or anything like that. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Well, answers my question about whether or not they breathe fire. Right? Yes, they do breathe fire. Most definitely they breathe fire. So you would think that saying salamanders hate fire when they go around breathing out the stuff? I mean, really? Yeah. Well, I suppose humans aren't exactly fond of carbon dioxide, but we breathe that out all the time. There you go. There we go. And we are done with our quest here. Back to Langhold. I am back. I dealt with some salamanders.
What brings you to these lands?
I'm glad to see you back. It looks like you've disposed of a great many of their numbers, and for that you have my gratitude. We are always glad for a few extra hands, or swords, or bows, or even spears, I guess. Actually, you'd think that someone from Rohan would include spears, because that's a major weapon to use from horseback. But okay, fine. And also, I dealt with those nests.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
Let's just slow the beasts down. It seemed like that was to be no end of them, and they grew bold as brass. Vicious creatures, are they not? I'm glad you came back safely, and the more you're glad that you've came back victorious. You're quite brave. There you go. And now it looks like this little kid wishes to speak with us. What do you have to say? We have to find that out in the next episode of The Complete Pineleaf.